Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Coming Into Being. And let me just write my little message here. And I'll be, let's see. I can't talk and type at the same time. So here we go. Hello, Ilaria. Come vai? Yeah, nice to have you here too. And okay, so today is March 9th. My name is Marianne Carduner with unboundedandfree.com. I'm not a medical doctor or therapist. I don't diagnose, prescribe, or heal. I can scan your frequency and energy patterning and tell you what I see. Please consult a doctor or therapist for professional advice. All content is copyright protected, and you may not use our content in any way, shape, or form without my written permission. Bene, grazie, Marianne. I love Italian. um, bastante, bastante. And yeah, and then it comes out. It comes out. I could read it and understand, but it comes out in Spanish or French. It's kind of a mix. Tutto bene, sì, tutto bene, grazie. And Vanessa. So yeah, today is kinda yes, abbastanza bene. Very good. Um, yeah, I was tuning in. I'll share this photo. A friend of mine in Hawaii sent this, and I'll see if you can see those 2 little specks, and he's in Hawaii, and his text said a friend of his took a photo of that, and she said looking at him through the binocular, they looked really wacky, so she called the UFO hotline, so that's south of Waikiki. Um, so, um, yeah, and it was interesting because I was thinking of that, and I was like, "Okay, let's see what we do today." And let's take a minute to get centered and see where we're kinda drawn to, guided to go. So come into your bodies. Take a nice deep breath or 2. And let yourself really become aware of the space around you. So you might see the objects, you might notice the light, and kind of bring up that maybe sensing, it's like sensing the air around you, and just slowing yourself down a little bit, slowing your breath, your awareness. And when we slow ourselves down a lot, even like the quality of the air starts to come through. So it might feel dense, it might feel even humid. There is a different quality where the air is humid, where when the air is dry. Let's call in healthy alien beings who want to help humanity. Yeah, usually I think most aliens, not all, but yeah, I think at this point, my friends in France sent me a cartoon of an ET, and with a little caption that basically says, said, "The ETs are no longer willing to come to the US." This is vax related. The ETs are no longer willing to come to Earth anymore because of uh, it wasn't, the word wasn't pollution. I can't remember the word, but because it was too contaminated. There we go. Anyways, so yeah, back to the quality air. If we slow ourselves down and really start paying attention to where we are, our space, in present moment. So this is part of that space-time awareness, of present moment awareness. It's slowing down, and it can it starts to almost feel like you're in water, even though it's just air. You can start to notice that like a density And again, when the air is drier, it's gonna feel different. So just let's take a moment to just tune into that, because this is about this is one of the things that helps to us to bring us in the present moment, to slow ourselves down enough. Wow. And for those who are more sensitive to the non-physical layer, that's, it's like it's just on the other side of that physical layer, and the air is part of that physical layer. See if you can get a sense of that, of, and you don't have to reach with your awareness. You can just become more present in this moment. Well, whew, I'm getting some imagery of what's at that non-physical level. It's pretty. It's beautiful, actually. It's kind of like all sparkly. There's an aqua blue color, more on the green side, that's coming through. That's really beautiful. And there's a sense. Hey, Kayla, there's a sense of, these higher level beings that are at the non-physical level, that are here to support us. So I'm not sure what this day in particular is in the cosmic scheme of things, because it's interesting that there's this. My friend sent me this photo of the UFOs over by Waikiki, and the tangibility of what I'm seeing here with on the other side. So let yourself kind of sink in. See if you have a sense of that. Sometimes it's really hard to get a sense of something, and it's easier when you have a comparison. So just kind of note, hey, Michelle, notice what you're feeling now, and then come back, kind of remember that. It's like, okay, let me just remember that. And then after the call, just notice what it feels like, and see if will be a little bit of a shift when we come back into our own space and out of the group space that we're in. So contrast is easier to comparisons, it makes it easier. And since I didn't tell you guys, okay, check in your space before you come in, then just kind of see what you notice. And for me, it's almost like there's a little bit of it's almost like this tingling in the air. So that's kind of all sorts of things happening. Yeah, God, this is really interesting. Kind of a strong cosmic presence today for us. So take the time to get more grounded in yourself. It's great to have these kind of cosmic levels coming through, and to give us sense the self of really connecting to the earth. I'm just done with playing at a concert. Oh, for a test. Wow. We got a good grade. Yay, good for you. At times I don't play through the piece all the way. Can you look into this? Okay. Yes, we'll look into that in a bit. The first thing that's popping up as I'm reading that is it's like there's a holding back. You kind of hold yourself back on how good you can get. So there's a little bit of fear of getting good, too good, and what that entails. It's the fear of success, basically. We kind of tend to overlook the fear of success, but it's just as important to look at that for ourselves as the fear of failure. In fact, fear of success usually is stronger than the fear of failure because we're so used to seeing that all around us, and in a lot of ways, and the success. I mean, we see the success, and we see the toll that it's taken on people because it's usually not done from a good place. But it's like you've got uncertainty around yourself, around not being good, but getting even better than where you are. So really advancing. You have really good potential in music, and so you might want to just kind of take a look at that for yourself. Just kind of sit down and explore that. It's like, well, what would it be if I became really good in music? What feels scary about that? Kind of thing. Um, but we'll see if anything else pops up with that. That's the first piece as I was reading. So okay, now let's get the whole group here. We have this beautiful space that we're in with a lot of, so I'm going to use the word love, but it's not love like we're so used to understanding it in the human way, but it's that cosmic level love, that pure state of being, really, that's coming through. It brings up a lot of emotions when I feel into it, but brings in just having that presence around us as part of our circle, as part of our group today. So coming into that alignment for yourself a little bit more, anchoring more into your body. Feeling your spine, filling all the way down to your tailbone. And really anchoring the group a little bit more deeply. So comment in on how you're feeling the space. I'm curious to see what you guys are noticing. For me, there's a real soft feeling to it that's different than what I'm recalling from previous sessions. Sometimes we have these sessions and they're kind of really heavy because there's a lot of clearing that happens. But yeah, comment in on how you're noticing the space, our group space today. It's very calm. It's very just, there's a soothing quality to it because it's calm. And joyous isn't quite the right word, but it's on that side. So I want everybody to come into your chest, your chest space. Focus on your breathing. Allow yourself to go a little bit deeper. By focusing on your breath, becoming aware of that movement of the chest, especially. That's the most noticeable movement. You might notice, depending on how you're sitting, but if you're loose and flowing in your whole spine, you will have with the breath, there's a sort of very slight, all the way through the whole spine, from bottom, including your head. And when you expand, it's like your back is like this, and then when you contract it, it comes forward. So this is the front of the body. It's very slight, very pure, yes, different like a soft, nice, comfortable pillow. Yes, that's a nice description. So coming into your heart, I feel like we're getting your chest. Let's start with the chest first. Letting yourself drop out of your mind. And letting yourself feel that soft, comfortable pillow, as Anna puts it. That's the space that we're in. You know, it's interesting because it's very nurturing, and yet I wouldn't put that word to it, but because it's such a soft space to be in, that in turns becomes nurturing. Because we're so used to in life of the hardness in life. You know, so to have it's like getting in that hammock, you know, and you just gotta let go. There's something very nurturing about being in a hammock and just swaying, gently swaying in the breeze. So that kind of feeling. And keep breathing into your chest. Of course, you're breathing into your chest, but with your awareness on the chest. And kind of the sense of a lot of love here, a lot of love for the group. So I'm going to guide you a little deeper in a minute, but just kind of keep focusing on that breath. It's like the loving, the sense of that loving family, loving, nurturing um, parent kind of feel. As you're aware of your breath, see if you can just kind of notice in the background, maybe the beating of your heart, letting yourself become aware of that. You just relax into that. Yeah, very nice. I'm just going to expand the space a little bit. So we're in this very nice space, and just want to widen it some for everyone. Yeah, there we go. That awareness on the heartbeat. Those who did February know what I'm talking about. January, February apply, are familiar with that. And then so the awareness on the breath and but on the heartbeat, kind of moving your awareness back to kind of in front of your spine. I see people lighting up as they get to that spot. Michelle, if you're having it looks like you might be having a little difficulty getting there, so just take a nice deep breath, do a reset breath. Take a deep breath, hold it for however many counts you want, and then exhale completely, and then come back into your breath, and then let yourself float back. Yeah, I don't think you've gotten there quite yet, but your spirit has already, so just kind of that reset. So this is the heart space, not the human heart. So this is more kind of the cosmic heart space. But just allow yourself to experience it. I could go into a lot of details about what that is, but I'd rather have you experience it. That's a lot more important, what your experience is of it, than what people have written up about it. Just simply that it's not the human heart. So a human heart is all these emotions. This is that deeper cosmic, we'll call it the cosmic, pure cosmic heart space. Yeah, everybody's beaming at that level. So let yourself notice that glow. See if you can, it might be like a glow, a radiance from that area, from your chest, basically, in all directions. And as we do this, it's very clear to me that this is going out to the human collective. Yeah, and our the radiance of the group is getting stronger as you keep breathing into that space. And vibrationally, we are sending this out through the collective. And well, right now we're in the collective, so the humanity. And what I'm seeing is that as it goes through, when it reaches somebody, like a point, so we'll just say a point of light, a person or whatever, because it might not be a person, but a point of light that is at the right vibrational level, it lights it up, and that sends it out to even more directions. And please do share. You might not be able to do now, but share your experience here, whether it's now or later. It's kind of it's a very beautiful session we have here. And so that softness, that's the best word I can use for this quality here, this tonal quality of the space and what we are generating is just spreading and expanding out. I think, like, there you go, Ilaria, for your healthy alien beings who want to help humanity. There we go. And so we're turning it for ourselves. Feels clean. Yeah, nice. So that softness, yeah, I come back to the word nurturing, but it's that nurturance from just being held kind of thing where it's like you're not getting nurtured because you're taking in good food or you're getting frequencies that are giving you nutritional support at that frequency, energetic or physical level. But it's just because the space is soft, it's soothing, and that soothing allows us to relax. And then in that relaxation, everything flows more. And as everything flows more, what needs to be released flows out with greater ease, and what comes in, what's beneficial, flows in more easily. So this is a benefit to yourself. In some ways, it's like benefit to yourself first because it's coming into you and spreading throughout you, and then generating out benefit to the whole. You have to support yourself. You have to always make sure that you're supported first. It's like the heart when it's pumping blood, it pumps blood to itself first and then to the rest of the body. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to pump to the rest of the body. Same thing here. And when you support yourself first, then you can give so much more support to others because you're strong in yourself, and your support will not be coming from a weak place, from a needy place. It's going to come from that clean place, and that will give more out to those who can benefit from it. And it will come out in a pure way. If you come from a needy place or where you feel that emptiness, you're just trying to fill it. If you don't take care of that first, then what happens is that when you reach out to another person, you go to support to another person, it's to fill this up. And so in essence, what you're doing is you're giving that to the other person. Even though on the surface it might look like you're doing something really nice for the other person, it's like, yes, but. So give so that coming into the heart space and just focusing on being there, be present with yourself. Now allowing it to expand, that glow to expand and grow within yourself. It automatically radiates out. So feeding yourself and feeding the whole. Oops. And yeah, just glowing. So we're just gonna, and if you need to, just take a deep breath in, hold it for a count or two, release, and then come back into the breath. Just for that's for that cycling of that energy. So if you feel like there's a cycling that's has come to completion, that's the way to like really end it and go into the next cycle of energy. That's more like at the energy frequency level. And what I'm also seeing is like these like little connecting lines, kind of like when you draw those chemistry um, formulations. You've got the thing here, and then you've got these lines that go out from the center, whatever. Um, so those lines filling up and filling up with line and getting filled up. I'm just going to kind of, instead of bringing this to an end and going into the uh, just our little chat here, just going to leave that open, 'cause that's just such a nice space to sit in. It will kind of keep keep perpetuating on its own. And yeah, any comments you have, or how's that for your healthy alien beings, Ilaria? Kinda maybe a little hard to talk about that. It's I'm not feeling myself full of words either. Beautifully calming and soothing, yeah. Boy, don't we all need it right now, it also globally. I mean, obviously, we've got our hot spots that, where people really need it. It is reaching out to them as well, but we all kind of need that. I just wanna stay in the space. I know. I know. So soak it in while we're here. You could just soak it in. You can always come back to the recording, or even just if you really soak it in, just kind of recall it. Come back, close your eyes and come back to being here. Yeah, some of these beings I recognize as that group that's called the elegant beings. There's actually a lot of them. Um, there's a lot more than we realize. Uh, Hi, Marianne. Just jumped on the last 2 minutes. Good to see you. Hey, Karen. Um, so we're in this incredibly beautiful space. Uh, kind of, well, at the beginning, I'll show it again because now we've got a bunch of people. But a friend of mine who's in Hawaii just got back from his trip, but sent me this photo of that a friend of his took. Those are UFOs south of Waikiki. And how do I know they're UFOs? How does he know they're UFOs? Because the friend who took the picture and sent it to him looked at those lights through binoculars and says it looked really wacky, um, and called the UFO hotline. So then we start at the beginning. There was just there's this incredible cosmic presence in the space today, very different. So really nice day. So see how you feel it. There's a very soft, and it's just a very nurturing, soothing quality to the energy. I'm wondering if people are seeing lights. I am kind of seeing lights. There's some colored lights. There is kind of this, it's a green aqua over predominant, but I am seeing like some red, blue little lights, and also kind of lights. So yeah, just kind of soak it in. Soak it in. And nobody really feels like talking because it's such a nice nice kind of just soak it up. So that's all right. Um, just kind of let yourself really soak it in. Uh, this beautiful presence that is with us and that we are also becoming. So really uh, feeling yourself kind of breathe it in. Yeah. And do you, can you feel it? Do you have a sense of that, Karen? Imagine the chain of human beings covering the surface of the. Wow, that's making me really emotional, Ilaria. Um, the surface of the globe over all across the circumference of the earth who are connected holding hands. Yeah, really. Yes. So that was actually this. Well, we were forming a circle so that there was kind of this flow going through us in a circle. Yes, I can feel it. Yeah, really nice. This is kind of a very unique coming into being. But so coming into being, I mean, this is what happens when we allow ourselves to just come into that present moment. And we've got a group here that shows over and over again. So, you know, we're known out there. Um, so Sophia, let yourself kind of sink into the space. I think you joined in more recently. So we've got this incredible space, very healing space. So allow yourself to really feel into that and let yourself sit into that, because that will be really healing for you. And that will help to ground you. You need to just come into your body more. So a lot of stuff comes up. A lot of stuff comes up in life all the time. So soak in the space for a little bit. It's a very beautiful space. Everybody, okay, let's do this. Come into your breath. Really bring your awareness into your breathing. Go. Yeah, kind of a little bit of a jump into a little bit more head level. So let's come back into that breathing space. There we go. So Sophia, what's coming up for you is you gotta part of what's coming up with you showing up like that is give me an up there. There's this drama piece for you. You got to learn to step away from the drama. I think you grew up a lot with that, and so trying to grab for that stability. The problem is it's this catch-22 because you're used to the drama. And it also throws you into this state of this unstable space, and then you start grabbing for kind of the parental figure. So just to recognize that, not to be, it's not meant as a criticism for you, but just a recognition of what you grew up with. And so taking in a deep breath. So right now, actually, what would be better for you is just allow yourself to really breathe in this space, sit in this space, and let yourself relax more into it. We're it's kind of starting to slow down. Also, because we're getting closer to the end, so it's not quite as potent as the beginning. So I would suggest coming back to the recording and letting yourself listen to that because it was a bit stronger earlier. Yeah. So okay. Just want to see if the people are noticing that coming to the end of that cycle of the session of this particular part of the are coming into being. So those who've been here for the beginning, just feeling it kind of, it's like gently kind of slowing. It's like a slowing down feeling, or just a. It can kind of feel like a contraction because it feels like we were really kind of in this really bright space, and it's just kind of or a dimming out just because it's coming to a place of completion. So, Sophia, I think it would be really good for you to come back to and listen to the recording. And Diane, I just I just noticed your little comment between two people that I was reading. Just finished work. Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, I would say Diana, come back and listen to this. This was a uh, really special flavor today. So definitely worth coming into that space. Coming back to it also for those of us who have been here since the beginning. And kind of giving that sense of, it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. We have the support from higher beings who are here to help us through this. And so they really showed up today. Will it be up immediately? Yeah, it basically, as soon as we get off, it's gonna be, it might take a couple minutes, but basically, as soon as we get off, it ends here, and then it's on there on YouTube and, Facebook Live. Facebook, I'm not familiar, but it should be, like, basically immediate with on YouTube also. Yeah. Yeah, just a really nice space. I feel afraid how others will see me if I get better. Oh, good one, Elizabeth. Really good one. So, what that translates into is that you're afraid to see who you really are and see yourself, see the truth of your being. So, let's see. Yeah, I see a little spot there in you. So, feel into that. Feel into that place where you feel that fear. Right? It's kind of a painful place. And it's real scary to go there, but that's okay. You're kind of in a nice space here. We've got a nice group. So just kind of breathe into that. And Sophia, actually, you can do the same with what you're feeling as what I'm doing with Elizabeth here. So feel into that state, go deeper into it. You know, it's like you feel like you can't handle it, and so you have to reach out to somebody else, but you can. You can. You just now you kind of in the space, give yourself that time and just breathe into that. So Elizabeth, that's starting to come out as you bring your awareness more into that. I don't know if you're noticing that. And Sophia, you just have to kind of slow yourself down to be able to get into it, into your thing. So like I said earlier, that fear of success, you know, that there's a lot of judgment out there on people who've been successful, and getting attacked, getting criticized, getting, you know, abused in a lot of different ways, manipulated, used. You know, you get good musicians, and then how many countless of stories we have of musicians, really good musicians, and then their managers taking all their money or whatever. Countless stories of that. Yes. So it's about knowing that you have the strength. And Sophia, applies to you too. It's about knowing that you have the strength to hold yourself and see yourself through whatever you're going to go through, whatever's going to come up. And to not be afraid to be better than others. You know, and for you, Sophia, not to be afraid to step out of the drama and break out of the drama. And by drama, I mean like something going wrong and then it throws you in a tizzy, all over the place. You know, it's almost like there's just a feeling like you haven't been able to live without it. You kind of had that growing up. So it's that flavor that you're familiar with. So Elizabeth, yeah, I was saying, being better than other people, because that is an inspiration. So see yourself as an inspiration that as you get better, you can be an inspiration for others who are like you. You know, you've got, you know, musicians tend to be all sensitive types, but you've got your own flavor of who you are, as a musician, as an artist, as an expressive being. So by allowing yourself to really come forward and shine, then you're inspiring others who might be holding themselves back as well, you know, and you'll understand that because you're in that place. So you'll understand what they're going through, and people will have a sense of that. The other kids will have a sense of this. Those who are afraid to come out and really let themselves out. So you can be an inspiration for others, and just, you know, when you feel that come up, all you really need to do is just let yourself sit in that fear and just, you know, just acknowledge it, just feel it. And this is for everybody, you know, giving ourselves that space and that time when we're kind of like feel that pang coming into being with yourself, with what you feel, and feeling into that. It's not fun. And there's a lot of different little techniques to help move through it, but even just feeling it, breathing into it, you know, and noticing it, becoming aware of how your body feels, how your body's responding, how the emotions that are coming through, the thoughts that are coming through, you know, kind of thing. Oh, that could be a great inspiration for music, for writing your music. So Sophia and Elizabeth specifically, does that make sense for you guys? And anybody else who wants to jump in and make a comment here about what I've just been saying. So still a very nice spot, a very soft space that we're in. The beans they've kind of moved on. They're still always present, but they're not at the forefront, let's put it that way. So, but still that nice soft space for everyone. So Elizabeth, yes, I can't remember what what I was saying. So the yes to what, but is that making I assume that's making sense to you, and then that's kind of helping you move through it. And you might ask yourself, it's like, well, what's the worst thing that could happen if I just played that piece of music to the end? If I got better, let's just try it and see what that feels like. See what happens. Especially when you're getting graded and it's like you're getting a test here and you're getting graded. Thank you for creating this beautiful space, Marianne. What a pleasure to be in this group. Yeah, thanks for showing up. It's been a while. It's just amazing what happens, and we've got kind of a more regular bunch of people here, and then others who come in like you, not necessarily every time, but hey, when you come in, you add to the group, so it's great. Yeah, this was an amazing space. So good day to like drop in. Very special. Anything else for anybody here? Next Wednesday. Let's see, next month is April. I think either in April or May, I'm going to have to shift this from 4 o'clock to 3 o'clock. But so I'll just keep reminding people. It's not at least April. Maybe May I'll start doing that. But I will let you know when. Keep reminding you. We're off on a great my Pure Life infusions. Our weekly infusions. It's going really, really well too. We're off to a good start for this month. And anything else? There's the usual. Check out my audios. Check out my blog too. I think I've written some pieces that are a little different from my time in doing this stuff, my understandings that have come through. I've had some good teachers, insightful teachers. So just sharing the knowledge on with others. Anything else? It's just this. I'm just feeling it's so calm. I'm like, okay, just it's not a floating feeling because I still feel very grounded and present. I think everybody's that, but it's just it's a nice space. We should all live here more often, be in this space more often. So many thanks to the beings who who presented themselves, and the Waikiki UFOs for being, there's something, I don't know, there's something going on today. I feel like with my friend sending me, that feels like there's a lot more of this activity that's actually happening globally today. So very nice that we were part of that. We got to tap into that today. How do we deal with people putting their fears onto others? Well, first thing is to come into yourself more. So start with yourself, stay very centered. And the image that's coming up for you since you're in school is that you'll see like other kids getting picked on. And the reason they're getting picked on is because the person who's picking on them, bullying them, whatever, is coming from that place of fear. So usually when we face off with a bully and we say, stop, we kind of stand, they might react, but they usually have a way of turning down because they're used to people cowering at them. And you don't have to get nasty, but just like, okay, stop. Um, and then they'll walk off kind of thing. But come into yourself also. And with that person, who's been picked on, who's been bullied or whatever, or even maybe a teacher just railing into a student for hitting that wrong note or whatever might come up in your classes. Really hold that strength of being centered in yourself, being present as you can be in that moment with yourself. Really hold that. And that will help the person who's been had their fear put onto, because that's the best way that's really the only thing that we can really do with ourselves when we're getting hit by a fear, is to come into that place of being really strongly ourselves in our space, our time, boom, present moment, time, space, in and holding that for ourselves and not budging. It's like, no, I'm not going to budge out of here. To give other people around us that reflection, because too often it doesn't. uh, the kids getting picked on are probably not getting that enough at home, and the person. So I keep coming into that because that's the scenario that just seems to pop up for relative to what you're saying here. Asked. The bully is also does not have that modeling of strength at home. I remember watching a show on bullying, and it was so kind of another way to work with bullies and stuff like that. And there was a little girl who was a bully, and she was getting to the place of almost stepping out of that pattern for herself, just through the conventional process they were using. And then the problem really came up of what the problem was for this little girl, because it came down to the mother, who just thought it was great that her daughter was asserting herself and not being willing to acknowledge that what was happening is she was not asserting herself, she was bullying other kids. So here the mother is encouraging the daughter to be that way. The daughter got to a point where, yeah, she could understand what that this is messed up, wanting to step out of it, but then her mother's encouraging her to do that. So totally split. So for the bullies as well, they need to have, it's almost like they need to have somebody say, no, stop. Because it gives them that sense of boundary, that the correct boundaries that they probably are not getting elsewhere. Probably, most likely. Anyways. So is that helpful, Elizabeth? And then we will wrap this up for today. And I can really feel that space. Yes, that was helpful. Good. Um, I feel like that space. So I think everybody's in kind of surrounded with that really nice, soft, uh, infused with that beautiful space. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Michelle, for coming and showing up today, and everybody else. And so next Wednesday, 4 o'clock. If I don't, either I'll see you before in the ethers, in person on Zoom or something in our Pure Life Infusions series. For those who want information about that, you can go to my website, unboundedandfree.com. It's under the services. And thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, really come back. Really come back to this. I think it'll be good for you, Sophia, to come back and listen to the replay. Yeah, very beautiful, and all of you, were participated in this, bringing this forth. So thank you all also. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you next time, wherever that is.